Welcome to my channel World Scene News. Subscribe to my channel for news updates all around the world. Built on the conviction that economic growth would naturally lead to political liberalization, this vision dominated for generations. But in recent years that belief has collapsed under the weight of new realities and rising tensions. Today, December 4th, 2025, we face a new reality, one where the foundations of the old order are being challenged like never before. China has emerged as the architect of a rival system, rewriting the rules and fragmenting the global market. Its influence now stretches across continents, from Asia to Africa and beyond, reshaping alliances and trade flows. The old order, led by the US, relied on free flows of goods and ideas, believing that openness would bind nations together in mutual benefit. But it also sowed the seeds of its own disruption, as economic imbalances and political discontent grew within and between countries. Welcoming China into the WTO in 2001 was meant to integrate it into the global system, encouraging reform and cooperation. But instead, it unleashed a force that changed the balance of power, fueling China's rapid industrialization and technological rise. Now, trade wars, tariffs, and economic rivalry define the landscape. As countries scramble to protect their interests and industries, the world is fracturing into competing blocs, each seeking influence, resources, and technological supremacy in a rapidly shifting environment. Economic integration no longer guarantees political convergence. Instead, it often exposes deep divisions and rival ambitions. China's state capitalist model is thriving, offering an alternative to Western liberal capitalism and attracting followers worldwide. The global trade rulebook is now contested, with new chapters being written in Washington, Brussels, and Beijing, each city vying to set the standards for the future. The world will never be the same. As the old certainties fade, a new era of competition, uncertainty, and opportunity is just beginning. To truly grasp the scale of global transformation, we need to look back to 2001. That year, China joined the World Trade Organization, entering as a relatively minor player on the world stage. Few could have predicted just how dramatically this moment would reshape the global economic landscape. At the time, Western leaders and economists expected China to gradually reform, opening its markets and converging with the established economic models of the West. The hope was that integration would foster not just economic growth but also political and social change. Western companies rushed in, eager to tap into China's vast labor force and growing consumer market. Meanwhile, China was learning, adapting, and planning for the long term. Instead of simply following the Western script, China charted its own course. Its GDP grew nearly tenfold by 2016, transforming the country into the world's manufacturing powerhouse and lifting hundreds of millions out of poverty. By 2024, China's trade volume had surpassed that of the United States, signaling a dramatic shift in the world's economic center of gravity. This transformation was no accident. China leveraged its WTO access, implemented state-led industrial policies, and made massive strategic investments to build an export machine unlike anything the world had seen before. While the West viewed trade as a path to mutual prosperity, China saw it as a powerful tool to advance national interests and strengthen its global position. Over the years, China moved rapidly up the value chain, shifting from low-cost textiles to advanced electronics, robotics, and high-tech manufacturing. By 2023, China was responsible for nearly 30% of global manufacturing output, more than the United States, Germany, and Japan combined, a staggering achievement in just 2 decades. Today, China dominates high-tech industries, from telecommunications and 5G to solar panels and renewable energy, setting the pace for the future. China's rise from the periphery to the very core of global trade is not just remarkable. It is the defining economic story of our time, reshaping the world in ways we are only beginning to understand. China's transformation over the past few decades has been nothing short of extraordinary, and nowhere is this more evident than in its trade relationships with the rest of the world. Once a relatively closed economy, China is now the beating heart of global commerce, with its ports bustling day and night as goods flow in and out at an unprecedented scale. Back in 2000, the United States and Europe dominated world trade, acting as the primary hubs for global economic activity, while China played only a supporting role. Fast forward to 2024 and China has emerged as the top trading partner for most of Asia, Africa, South America, and Oceania. fundamentally altering the landscape of international trade. This dramatic shift has redrawn the global economic map, shifting the center of gravity away from the Atlantic and toward the Asia-Pacific region, with China at its core. Today, Australia's trade with China far surpasses its trade with the United States, and similar patterns are seen across Africa, Latin America, and even parts of Europe, as Chinese goods and investment reach every corner of the globe. Despite rising U.S. tariffs and ongoing trade tensions, China's export machine has proven remarkably resilient, with its global exports reaching record highs in 2025 and showing no signs of slowing down. The country's annual trade surplus is now approaching $1 trillion, a staggering figure that cements China's role as the world's indispensable supplier and a key driver of global economic growth. What's more, China's exports have evolved dramatically, from low-cost textiles and toys to cutting-edge products like smartphones, advanced telecom equipment, and electric vehicles, reflecting its rapid technological advancement. In 2024 alone, China exported $3.6 trillion worth of goods, accounting for 14.6% of all global exports, a testament to its unmatched scale and reach. This remarkable leap from a simple assembler of goods to a high-tech manufacturing powerhouse is the true engine behind China's growing global impact, shaping the future of trade for years to come. China's integration brought Western consumers cheaper goods and higher living standards, but the China shock devastated manufacturing communities in the US and Europe, leading to job losses and social decay. The benefits of trade were widespread, but the pain was concentrated in former industrial heartlands. Studies show regions exposed to Chinese imports suffered lasting employment losses. This economic shock fueled political backlash and protectionism, reshaping Western politics. Policymakers underestimated the difficulty of transitioning workers to new industries. The double-edged sword of trade with China cut deeper than anyone expected. The West's response to China's rise was a wave of tariffs, peaking at 55% on Chinese goods. US-China trade flows shrank, and American companies scrambled to diversify supply chains. Imports of Chinese phones and computers plummeted in 2025, as production shifted to India, Vietnam, and other Asian nations. Thailand and Taiwan saw exports to the US surge as the China Plus One strategy took hold. Meanwhile, China pivoted to new markets, boosting exports to Africa, South America, and Asia. Exports to Vietnam, Argentina, and Nigeria soared as China sacrificed margins for market share. The global manufacturing map is being redrawn, with new winners and losers. China's export machine adapts, ensuring its dominance continues. The world's supply chains are now more complex and more competitive than ever. China's power isn't just in trade volume, it's in strategic industries. In 2024, China produced over half the world's steel, controlling prices and supply. Its dominance is even greater in green tech. China leads the solar supply chain, exporting panels worldwide. As Western tariffs rise, China redirects output to new markets, fueling the developing world's energy transition. The electric vehicle revolution is China's most disruptive play. Massive subsidies and cheap batteries make EVs affordable for millions. By 2025, Chinese EVs are cheaper than gasoline cars, while Western EVs remain expensive. Automakers like BYD are storming global markets, outpacing Western rivals. The US response, 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs, may only delay the inevitable. China's trifecta of steel, solar, and EVs is rewriting global manufacturing. China's rise isn't just economic, it's cultural. In the 1990s, leftover chicken racks from exports became a local delicacy in Shenyang. As China's food industry grew, byproducts like duck necks became the basis for new snack empires. This knack for turning global leftovers into local industries mirrors China's broader strategy. China started with low-value assembly work, then mastered the entire supply chain. Today it's the master chef, designing and controlling the global menu. The story of the spicy duck neck is a metaphor for China's economic ascent. The West's rivalry with China has spawned a new economic vocabulary. Decoupling proved unrealistic. The global economy is too intertwined. Enter de-risking, reducing dependency on China in critical sectors like semiconductors and pharmaceuticals. The goal: build resilient supply chains and protect national security. Friendshoring shifts production to trusted allies, prioritizing reliability over pure cost. The US is now encouraging trade with partners like Mexico, Vietnam, and India. Trade and supply chains have become tools of statecraft, not just efficiency. China has long used economic power for leverage. Now the West is responding in kind. The new game is about managing risk and building resilience, not maximizing efficiency. The era of naive globalization is over. China's ascent has remade the world order, ending the era of unchallenged US dominance. The global trade map now has a powerful new pole in Beijing. Nations must navigate a fragmented world of competing blocs and standards. Trade is becoming more regionalized, with risks of lower growth and higher costs. A recent US-China trade truce offers only a brief pause. Competition continues. Yet, new supply chains are spreading development across Asia and Latin America. US-China rivalry in green tech could accelerate the global energy transition. The challenge is to manage competition without tipping into conflict. The future is managed globalization, where geopolitics and economics are inseparable. The rulebook has changed, and there's no going back.